All right, awesome. Happy Sunday. Yeah, we'll start in seated meditation. Go ahead and set up. And you want to take your seat that's powerful yet easy. And your first few breaths are just settling into that. Like you don't have to do anything special, or just settle into your seat and deepen the breath and allow the weight of each exhale to settle down. Allow the inhale to lift your spine up and out. Each of you is pretty experienced with meditation practice. So I'll ask you to tap in to that experience. And you can close your eyes or set them to one point. And then bring your attention into your physical body. Allowing any distractions in your space to just move about. And just like when we're in meditation and we create focus, we let go of our attention on the train of thoughts that runs through our head. In that same way, with distractions around you, you acknowledge that they're there. And then you pull your attention back in. I find it's always helpful to do an inventory, noticing right and left halves, the weight or the pressure of my body against the floor where it's touching the floor or the block. And then as I walk up, adding some tension in the front of the abdomen, adding tension there, allowing the ribs to draw toward the pelvis while lengthening the spine. This adds support to your structure, your seat. And then usually I have to gently pull my shoulders back. There will be a tendency with fatigue or maybe even just laziness of my shoulders to drop in front. So I want to pull them back. And then together we'll intentionally lift the crown of the head up and gently pull the back of the head back. Allow the jaw to relax, loosen the muscles. Allow your tongue to relax in your mouth. And now you're in the pose. So draw all of your attention to the breath. And notice the breath as it comes in through the nose and goes down through the chest. Start to acknowledge the parts of your body that contribute to the breathing motion. Muscles in the belly and the back, the diaphragm, the throat. The nostrils. Now, for some of you, coming into meditation this way is easy. You just settle in and you create your focus. And for others, you can get caught up in distraction, either thoughts or what's around you. So if it's easy, just be and breathe. And if there's distraction, you'll want to create a singular focus. And that singular focus can be simple. It can be a count 1 to 5. Or a mantra saying what you would like to create. Know that I'm here with you, but I'm going to give you the space to create your focus. And now just deepen your breath. Let some air out of your mouth. Gently bring your hands to chest center and thumbs to forehead. And we'll bow ending our meditation practice. Namaste. Awesome. Go ahead and come to child's pose. Start to create Ujjayi breath. You just missed meditation bath, child's pose. You can meditate in child's pose. You know, when I first started practicing yoga, if I was running late and I missed meditation, it didn't bother me. I'm like, oh, I just missed the sit. No big deal. I'll get the practice in. And then as I've practiced longer, I actually really get upset if I miss the meditation, right? I get upset if I miss the sun salutations. It's like my body needs those things, needs those bits to focus and create breath and warmth. And here in your space, listen for your breath and create the Ujjayi breath. Like, be intentional about it. I acknowledge that sometimes in our own space at home, the accountability may not be there. And so you have to be accountable to you. If you've forgotten an Ujjayi breath, you pull the air in through the nose. You allow the diaphragm to be the driving force of the air. So you allow the diaphragm is going to pull down as chest and back expand. And then the exhale, instead of just rebound and popping the diaphragm, you're slowing the air down so the diaphragm gently goes back to its natural position and the chest squeezes in. And you create that over and over. And now go to down dog with that breath. And with each breath, with each inhale and exhale and down dog, create more space, more energy in your hands and your feet. So the way I think about it is, since inhales create space and exhales create contraction and grounding, I inhale and lengthen my spine, pressing into the floor. And then as I exhale, I ground my feet, my hands, and allow the head to drop. And then inhale, I create expansion. And then the next exhale, I'll focus on lifting from the pelvic floor, lifting from the behind the pubic bone, and then expansion in the back. Do 2 more breaths where you're creating space. So interestingly, you're not really moving your hands and feet. You're just lifting from the center, from the core, really, squeezing the thighs, squeezing the arm bones, letting the breath create the space. Gently walk your feet up to your hands and go one step at a time. Like, really feel each movement and the change that occurs in your body. When you get to your hands, you'll take your feet out wide, lengthen the spine, and then drop into ragdoll. You go arm over arm in ragdoll. If you do that, the basket that you make with your arms, lift it so that the head goes between your legs and the basket. You should create a little more integration in the upper back. Might give you a deeper fold. Stay with your breath. In fact, here with your exhale, you might notice that you can pull the ribs closer to the thighs. Check out your toes and make sure you're separating them, all of them. And drop your hands down. Heel toe the feet in, lengthen your spine. Fold. From the floor, rise. And hands to chest. Just a pause. Right here in the standing pose, set your gaze, the gaze that you can come back to in every pose where your head is in this position. So warrior one, crescent lunge, all the standing sequence, chair, set your gaze, find the thing. Create your drishti. Hold that drishti, reach up. And then fold forward, breathe out. You'll lengthen your spine, breathe in. Hold your drishti on the floor and step back to chaturanga. Looks nice and easy. And then up dog, drishti goes back to the front. Down dog, breathe out. Now you set your gaze to the back of your mat. And I usually cue you to the back of your mat because it's stable. It's not going to move. If there's a place in your space or your location that you can see that is easier to fixate on than the mat, then do that. Breathe in and breathe out. You'll step forward, creating the movement with breath. Lengthen your spine. Fold. Press down, rise up. Fold down. Lift and lengthen. And then step it back, chaturanga. Upward dog. And downward dog. Allow these movements to deepen and strengthen with each repetition. Breathe in. Then breathe out, step forward. Lengthen your spine. Fold. rise, and fold down. Lift halfway, and low push-up. Gaze is set. Gaze goes back forward. Exhale, down dog. In, out, step or jump, lengthen, fold, rise, and fold. Lengthen, chaturanga, up dog, and down dog. And breathe. This has been a week of pretty hard workouts for me. And so I find that in my practice, when I come in with all that soreness, that what really helps is listening to the body and really just coaxing with each breath, being super intentional about moving from the center of my body, using the earth, and creating full range of motion, which will eventually ease the soreness. One more breath. You breathe out and step or jump forward. Lengthen. So each movement to me is like expanding the joint spaces. Fold. I encourage you to tap into that. Chair, you're going to sit down and bring your arms up and do this in a way that opens the chest. And then once you notice that when you open the chest, the ribs blow, you're going to draw the front of the ribs toward the pelvis. No big deal. You're just tightening up the front of the belly to lengthen your spine. Your gaze is forward now, not down. And you want to find this length in your arms so that you can make space here. Breathe in and then gently fold forward. Lift and lengthen. And then take it back to chaturanga. Upward dog, leading from the upper back and shoulders. Downward dog. With great intentionality, warrior one, right leg. We're going to take a couple breaths here, right? Breathe in, press into the feet. And breathe out. Now draw the front of the pelvis up, the ribs toward the pelvis. One more inhale. You're going to fold over your front leg, chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Left side warrior one. Press into both feet, especially the back foot. Work the pose, pull your head back in line with your spine. Pull the shoulders on your back, breathe in. Take it down, chaturanga. Up dog. And then down dog. Take a cleansing breath, breathe in and out. Step or jump forward. Lift and lengthen. Fold. Use the full breath, but just one chair. And then fold forward. Lengthen. And then chaturanga. Up dog, shoulders go back. Down dog, exhale. Step right away, right foot forward, just one breath up. And then come right back down. This is your exhale. Try to get out of holding the breath. Down dog and more into moving the air. Left side. And come down. When you find the breath gets short, up dog, with instant forgiveness, you lengthen it. So right here, breathe in and out. Step or float. Lift and lengthen, fill, empty. Chair, fill. Empty, fold. Fill and lengthen. In chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Warrior one. Chaturanga. Up dog. And down dog. Left side, warrior one. In chaturanga. Up dog. Downward facing dog. In. Empty it out. Step or jump. Lift and lengthen. Stay with breath no matter what you're doing, and fold. Chair. Fold. Intuitively moving, lift and lengthen, but with your breath. Chaturanga. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Warrior one, right. Chaturanga. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Left side, warrior one. And chaturanga. Up dog. Downward facing dog. And breathe. Root into your left foot, lift your right leg up. So you're just pressing, you're just doing a 3-leg dog. Left leg down, right leg up, pressing into hands equally. Bend your right knee, and lift your right heel to the sky and hold. Come to the ball mound of your left foot, hold. You're still lifting your right leg up. Now open it up. Stay here or flip your dog. Nice, take a full breath and breathe out. One more, breathe out. Take your right arm up, roll over, meet in side plank, right arm down. With a few breaths here, just establish the pose, look up. One more full breath, and you'll take it down, chaturanga. Upward dog. Downward facing dog. Right leg lifts again. Knee to chest and down dog. Come up to the ball mound of your left foot. Lift, 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 and bring it forward, crescent lunge. Remember your drishti, set it right there. Right back there. Make space in your body. Root into the feet, hips low, pelvis lifting, arms reaching. One more breath. Twist right. Your options are elbow on the knee like I'm doing. You can open your arms floor to ceiling, inside or outside of your foot, with or without a block. You could drop your back knee. Listen to your body. 3 more. Set your drishti. Warrior 2. Stay low when you open. Stay low. And then we're going to reverse. Now straighten the front leg for space. Take another breath here. And extended side angle lunge. I really like my hand on the outside of my front leg here for accountability. You go where you like. So I take my block on the outside of my front foot, really a little bit behind my front foot, and I'm going to ground into my foot. I'm going to pull my femur, my thigh bone out to my elbow. Then on the back foot, I'm pressing down, lifting the front of the pelvis up. The surface area of both feet is rooting into the floor. Ujjayi breath. Your gaze, drishti, up or the side wall or the side of your space. Go to the half bind. Take your left arm behind you. If the full bind is there for you, feel free. One more breath here. Empty it out. Stay deep in your lunge. Now reach up, floor to ceiling, and take it down, chaturanga. Nicely done. Upward dog, shoulders go back. Down dog, exhale. You're just breathing in down dog. It's a reset. Lift your left leg. It's just back behind you now. So the toes point down, right foot planted on the floor, squeezing and hugging in. Pressing into both hands equally. Ujjayi breath. Now bend your left knee and lift your foot up. Come to the ball end of your right foot. Keep lifting straight up to the sky. Breathe. And now open it up, hip over hip. You can stay here or flip the dog. And let intuition guide you. Find the feel-good spaces. With a full inhale, reach up. And then take it around. You go side plank, left arm down. You let your breath set you up. Expand on inhale. Contract on exhale. Unlock your jaw. Last breath. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Left leg lifts. Knee to chest. Ball mound of your right foot. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Crescent lunge. Yeah, you set it up for your powerful movement, for your integrated movement. Remembering to draw the ribs toward the pelvis, lift the front of the pelvis up. Try to keep both hips square. Like it's really common to drop or shift, like try to press into the floor and keep them square. And now you'll twist left. Build your breath here. Remember your options. Go where you want to go. One long spine length from tailbone to crown of the head. Stay low, warrior two. And then create the reverse and straighten your leg if you like. Extended side angle lunge. It's moving with breath. Be intentional. It's tempting sometimes to change things up and try to entertain. But honestly, this practice works. It works for itself. You just have to do it. Stay in with drishti, breath. Take your right arm behind you for your half bind. You can use this to kind of remind you to tuck your left butt cheek under to re-engage the right foot. Enjoy the peace of knowing where you're going and being able to focus on each piece, each bit. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, chaturanga. Up dog, shoulders back, spread through the collarbones. Down dog, step or jump forward, lengthen and fold. Chair pose. And you'll want to set this one up for the twist. So you want to make sure that your seat is nice and low and twist right. And here the work is really keeping the hips in line while you're opening the upper back and the twist. You do that by driving the seat low, pressing out with your feet, lifting in the pelvis. Pull both shoulders on your back, one more breath. And fold forward. Walk your feet out, lengthen your spine, and pull. Y'all, I'm a little distracted by the sun. We've had so much rain in Texas that seeing the sun is such a treat. And sometimes when I look out that direction and I see it and I see the clear sky, I can't even believe it. Release your toes, heel to the feet back in, lengthen the spine, and fold and chair. I wish we could figure out how to drive our rain where it's really needed and just what's left. Nice. So stay in. So the seat is low, and I do like knees separated, but not wider than the pelvis. So if your knees are wider than your pelvis, bring them in. And it's like you're creating like this little force field of action where there's something that's keeping them from touching, but it's so close that if the force field went away, your knees would squeeze together. One more breath. And then fold forward. You walk your feet out again, and you're going to take your hands underneath for gorilla. So I want you to listen to your body right here. You can stay here for a longer hold for 3 to 5 more breaths, or you can transition into crow. Listen to your body. Do what your body needs, not what your mind needs. We have 3 more breaths, whichever you're choosing, crow or the fold. If you've chosen the crow, you're going to jump. You're going to come out of it, fold over your legs. If you're in gorilla, unlock your hands, drop into a forward fold, and then release your hands, lengthen your spine, fold, creating the vinyasa, and then rise up. Nice. Drishti set. Right arm under, right leg over, eagle. Breathe. Extended mountain. Left arm under, left leg over. Extended mountain. Right side eagle. So we've had this Really interesting 1-week transition in Texas where we've gone from cold and rainy to really hot and humid. Extended mountain. And if you notice, left side, eagle, that you're sweating a little bit more than usual, it's because of the humidity, really. You take care of yourself by hydrating with water and electrolytes. Extended mountain. Enhanced to chest. And acknowledging that when you're physically active, you may take a little longer recovery, and be kind to you. You're going to hold on to your left hip, lift your right leg up. You can keep the bent knee. You can fully extend. You want to pull your shoulder back if you fully extend, lift out of your standing leg. Your gaze is still forward. And if extending like tests your limits, then that's why you do it. Take it up to the right. That's why I do it. It really tests my limits. It tests my alignment. It makes me have to really focus more on the physical nature of what's balancing me. That's okay, no worries. Like you fall out, big deal. Come back to center and work your way back to airplane. You can go through the warrior 3 if you like that. And then the wings, you don't have to. And then airplane, reach up and back. Pressing into the standing leg, kind of finding that balance, right? I like to bend and straighten my knee and work my left hip in line with my right. So the standing hip drives this pose. You turn the right hip down, but it's the left hip that drives it. You press into the left foot, pull left hip up and back and breathe. Drishti down. Standing splits. You're going to hinge over your front leg, taking your hands to the floor or your own ankle. Still internally rotating the back leg. So I don't know where you feel it. I feel this like in my left glute, left thigh, left hip. Now open it up. And then this is where I liberate it. So opening this up allows my left hip to shift. It changes the muscle power, which glute is actually working, and it's relieving. So you're in half moon. You can add the bind if that adds benefit to you. 3, 2, and 1. Foot down and raise up. And hands to chest, you pause. So you want to get to the place where ego does not occupy as much space between your head and your body. You want to get to that place where you're moving intuitively and doing what you need without being driven by ego. Left leg up. And you can have a little bit. Just don't want it to take up all your space. Extend if that's good for you. And sometimes I have to try on the extension, right? Like I'll do it. I'm like, ooh, that's not going to work. I like the accountability of it. And go out. Your gaze can shift over your right arm or it can stay forward. Whatever empowers your pose. I know, Macy and I have really been working out hard. Her little hips and thighs and glutes are screaming. Come back to center. I promise this is good. And then take it back to your airplane. And go in your time, like what you like. So the transition may take a couple of breaths. And then we're going to breathe in the pose. Refining, continuing to like lift from the back of the shoulders up, pressing now into the right foot. Left heel's reaching straight back. Your left leg is turned on, quads squeezing tight. But then the right foot is how you drive the pose. Press down, pull the right hip, right glute back. Liberate Ujjayi breath. And now you hinge over your front leg. You go to standing split. Yes, you may be feeling this where I am in your right glute, right leg. It's okay. Sensation, sensation. And then just open it up. See if you can find this place in half moon that it actually just feels good and creates more space for you. Using a block under your right hand is certainly great. You do the bind if it's good for you, if it's beneficial. Last breath and left foot to the floor. If you have a strap, grab it, rise up. Fix your feet in mountain. Loop your right foot. Drishti forward. Open dancer. 4, 3, 2. Last breath. And then switch gently if you can. You can keep your drishti forward while you switch the strap. That's a cool practice. Trust that you know where your strap and foot are. 5, 4, last breath. And release easy. Drishti forward. Right foot. Dancer. Keep moving your breath. Stay in. Go bigger. And release. Left side. Try on maintaining drishti and see how that feels. What I notice in my own body is that I have way more balance. And it lends to being able to devote my energy to breath. A little bend in the standing knee to lift the left leg higher. One more. And release. If you need a drink, grab one real quick. I'm definitely noticing the change in humidity. For years and years, we'll go to tree pose, right side. For years and years, I trained as an athlete, and a lot of my training would be in New Mexico or Colorado. And people always asked me how hard it was to train at altitude. And I always said, altitude's a piece of cake compared to Texas humidity. And it's true. As an athlete, switch sides. The humidity makes our air heavy, left leg up. And when your heart rate goes up and you're trying to breathe, like for me, I feel like it's harder to grab the oxygen there. And foot down. Nice, big reach up, big breath in, and then drop it down, fold forward. Lengthen your spine. Chaturanga, you can jump back at this point. Up dog. Your body's nice and warm, and down dog. Step your right foot forward for warrior 1. Open for warrior 2. And come into a nice Strong balanced warrior two. Work your torso right over your pelvis, arms long, knee bent, squeeze, press into both feet, and then go into triangle. So you set it up from warrior two, and then you expand into triangle for 5, 4, 3. This is your last breath. You're going to come up and do an arm bind. Interlace your hands behind you, feet turn facing the same direction. Lengthen your back and chest, fold forward with a bind. Now squeeze your arms together, pull the shoulders onto your back, lift up. Keep the bind, turn your feet for pyramid. Lengthen, fold, keep the bind, keep the bind, keep the bind. One more breath, and then drop your hands. Take your block, go inside of your right foot this time, and a little bit in front, and open up into twisting triangle. And then just float your back leg up. You may have to inch your block forward into twisting half moon. One more breath. Back foot goes down, you're in a long lunge. You float your right leg back, chaturanga. Up dog, down dog. Take a breath here. Empty it out. Left foot warrior one. And warrior two. Sometimes I take a little extra time in our transition so I can let Tanya try on her additions so she doesn't get behind. You can feel free to try on any of those additions anytime you want. Reverse it and go into triangle. Triangle, sorry. It is a little bit harder to workshop poses on Zoom. So I do try to keep it simple. And it's really amazing that keeping it simple actually works so well. This is your last breath here. And then exhale, you'll bend your front knee, come up, turn the toes in, do another bind behind you. Maybe go a little deeper this time. Pull your shoulders onto your back, lift from the front of the pelvis, and then you're going to fold forward. So it's a straddle fold with the bind. And one more breath. And now you're going to squeeze your arms up onto your back, bring yourself up, turn your feet for pyramid. You can hold the same bind. Lengthen your spine and fold. Take one more breath and then drop your arms. And so what I'm doing is I'm setting my block a little bit too far for my twisting triangle, and it'll be a little too narrow for the twisting half moon, but it works without having to readjust so much. So first twist open and twisting triangle. And I'm using the back half of my block here. And then I'm just going to shift my hand to the very front part of my block and lift up for twisting half moon. One more breath. And then you're going to go back into the long, low lunge. And you just step back for chaturanga. Up dog. And downward facing dog. Inhale into high plank. And just hold. 7, 5. Lift the back of the neck. Ribs toward pelvis. 2 more. 1 more. Lower down. 5, 4, 3, 2. Floor. Place a cheek on the floor. And turn the other cheek. Yogi's Choice arm variation for locust. Go up. Lengthen the back of the neck. Squeeze your thighs. 1 more breath. Come down. Breathe in. Breathe all the way out. Go up in locust. Maybe you go deeper, change the arms. Bend your knees, grab your ankles for floor bow. Just evolving the locust a little deeper. Go back through locust and down. Breathe in. Exhale. Locust. Bend your knees, grab your ankles, floor bow. Feet are square, lift your heels toward the sky. Press your feet back to the back of your own mat. Lift your chest. 3, 2. Last breath. And down. Take your hands, your forearms to the floor. Lift up in cobra. Stay right here. If this is enough, stay here. Otherwise, you can ooch your hands back. Shoulders on your back for up dog. Squeeze the legs, lift the front of the pelvis. 3, 2, down dog. You'll set up for camel next. Knees down. I turn my feet under. You can go flat if that's better for you. Just integrate. Thighs lifting, pelvis neutral, shoulders onto your back. Exhale, and then start to open. Starting with your hands on your own glutes, pushing them to the floor. You'll let your head and neck drop back. One more breath. Exhale, chin to chest. Spine comes up as a unit. Take a seat on your feet. You can either do the healthy toes pose, toes turned under, or just feet flat to the floor. Get a drink. It's a great place for a drink. Over the years in our practice, I've always tried to find those great places to drink. It's never right before you hang your head down, right? Like never right before a deep forward fold. We'll do another camel. And come up. Create your setup. Your drishti is forward right now, but and when you go up, the drishti will shift to your own maybe ceiling or sky. And sometimes your drishti can go behind you. 3 more. Lion's breath, breathe in. Then chin to chest, spine up as a unit. Well done. Just take another seat. Close your eyes for a second. Reset. Get your spine nice and long. And then just transition right into bridge pose. As we continue to work on our back bends, our igniting. So in the physiology, the back bends are what give us energy. They also create opening in the front of the body. They create strength and structure in the pelvis. They create now in your bridge. If you press down in the feet and you squeeze and hug the glutes around, your pelvis will square. And you want to lift the front of the pelvis up and draw the ribs toward. And it's an amazing, amazing, amazing exercise for alignment. And then just come right back down. Good. Breathe in and out. We'll do 4 more back bends. You choose whether you want bridge or wheel. And remember, take the ego out of your equation. Go up. So if wheel is good for your body, I want you to do it. If not, I want you to commit to your bridge. It's not a cop-out. It's doing what is right and necessary. And come down. A well-executed bridge can be much more challenging than the wheel. And then go up. Wherever you are, you're pressing into your feet. You're either pressing into your hands or your upper arms. Gaze set. Come down. Nicely done. Go up again. This is 3 of 4. Come down. Go up. 4 of 4. Whatever you want to do. 5, 4. Sometimes a combination is what your body needs. 3, 2, and 1. Let your back come to the floor. Just take a second. Knees together, full spine on the floor, and then feet together, knees out for butterfly. Sometimes closing your eyes here is what feels natural. And bring your knees together, bring them into your chest, give a tight squeeze. So after our back bending sequence, we need to stabilize. Stability is re-engaging the abdomen again. You can interlace your hands behind your head, extend your legs up to the ceiling, and pull from your belly, your torso up towards your thighs, and breathe. You're just holding. Keep this. Drop your right leg. Lift a little higher. Switch. Flex your feet. Switch. 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 Hold the tension in your belly. Switch. Switch. Turn your thighs on. Switch. Switch. You're lifting not from the head. Your head is neutral. You're lifting from the belly. Switch. Switch. The pace is the same. Switch. 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 Both legs up. Bend your knees at a right angle. You can either leave your legs just here and just turn the torso, right elbow to left knee, or you can extend the opposite leg in a bicycle. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, slow, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Arms by your side, by your legs. Your legs are still bent. And rock up into boat Navasana. You can support your thighs. I like to take my hands at my shins and I'm pressing out and in. For me, it creates an integration I can't get any other way. You're going to lower into low boat, squeeze, drop back up, high boat. And then you're going to rock and roll to downward facing dog. Half pigeon, you choose which leg you go with first. Sometimes it's nice in your body to switch it up and you get to choose.
There are some things I may not know.
Yeah, I like the setup.
There are some
You go nice, you do what's good, right? You do what opens your body up. It doesn't always look the same person to person.
But there's one
From right here, 5 breaths.
of which I'm sure. My God is real, for I can feel Him in my soul. Well, yes, God is real.
If there's any add-on to this pose you want to do that now.
Soul. Yes, God is real, for He has washed and made me whole.
And you'll switch sides when you're ready now. Use your breath to move.
His love for me,
Whatever pose you need in the middle.
well, it shines like pure gold. Yes, God is real, for I can feel Him in my soul. Hare Ram, 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 Sita Ram, 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 Hare Ram, 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 Sita Ram, Ram, Ram.
5 breaths from here.
Hare Ram, 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 Sita Ram, Ram, Ram. Hare Ram, 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 Sita Ram, Ram, Ram. And I have found a way.
If you like to add on, now's a good opportunity.
In the presence of the Lord, I have found a way to live. In the presence of the Lord, I have
You'll transition to double pigeon.
found a way to live.
Just back leg around.
Presence of the Lord, and so in the name Hare Ram, Ram, Ram,
Stay in with your breath.
I have found a way to live in the presence of the Lord. I have found a way to live.
Next 2 breaths, transition to the other side. My intention for you today was just to give you the space to work with what you have and the space to let the practice work on you without so much coaching. Frog, face down or face up. I always started at all fours and then walk my legs out. But sometimes you need a prop under your chest. If you need one, grab one. You can use a pillow, a rolled up towel, or a block. Now give yourself this opportunity in it. Ujjayi breath.
I have found a way to live in the presence of the Lord. I have found a way to live in the presence of the Lord. In the
Little more than halfway.
presence of the Lord. In the presence of the Lord. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Sita Ram. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Sita Ram. I have found a way to live in the presence of the Lord. I have found a way to live in the presence of Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Sita Ram.
We'll start to transition out.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Sita Ram.
We'll land with on our seat, legs in front. For a single leg, seated forward fold, right foot comes in. Big reach up and a fold down. 3. Last breath. Switch sides. Come up, go to the center. reverse plank or reverse tabletop, feet to the floor or extended legs. Open up, head and neck go back. And either shoulder stand or headstand. You'll set up. Yeah, if you're choosing handstand or forearm stand, give yourself 5 breaths or so, and then maybe transition it to something a little less energetic. So there's no rule saying you can only do one inversion. So sometimes you add them all in. But in your active inversion, 5 to 7 breaths. In the shoulder stand, you go to plow for 3 to 5 breaths. Headstand, handstand, forearm stand, you'll come through a forward fold or a child's pose. From plow to roll out to happy baby. The rest of us will meet in happy baby. Really pull your knees and thighs down to the floor. Tailbone toward the floor. Head and neck long. And gently move into a twist. And switch sides. Come back through center, nice transition. Knees, legs to one side, gaze, reach to the other. As you're ready, release the twist, come back to center. Allow your feet to come together, knees to drop out, and butterfly. Let your arms rest naturally by your side. Stand long in your back, tailbone toward the one end of the mat, crown of the head toward the other. Relax your jaw. And when you're ready, Shavasana. Extend your legs. Allow everything to rest. Allow your breath to deepen. Gently creating more tension in the body so that you can roll to your side. And then up to your seat. And once you land, seat on the floor, really ground down into the bones again, lift the spine, relax your face, draw your hands to your chest. And just a moment of gratitude. Thank you for joining me this morning with this practice. Thumbs to forehead. And together, namaste. Thank you so much. Love seeing you.
Enjoy the sun.